Local and national anti-hunger advocates are joining forces with child nutrition advocates this morning to highlight the importance of federally funded food programs in fighting a national hunger crisis.
Among those taking part in today's program is Joel Berg of Hunger Free America. He joins us this morning to talk about the problem. So many people are not getting enough food. Joel, good morning. Thank you for being here with us. Can you just paint the reality of what the situation is like? I think most people don't realize how serious of a problem this is.
Well, thank you for having this vital segment. I'm actually traveling around the country, driving myself from New York here to Hollywood, where I am today, and for this meeting in Los Angeles, to highlight that this was a systemic, structural problem long before the pandemic started. 35 million Americans lived in homes that couldn't afford enough food. Here in California, even though the government aid has significantly reduced the problem, we still have a major hunger crisis here. There are 2.5 million people statewide in California in just 1 week in late June, early July, that didn't have enough to eat. I know a lot of Californians sort of equate hungry and homeless, and certainly, goodness knows, there are far too many 10 cities here of homeless people, but they are small subsection of who's hungry. They're not homeless people primarily, they're working people. You're either temporarily unemployed or just earn too little to pay for the astronomical housing prices here. And I know you just covered the end of the eviction moratorium, and this is all tied together. People can't afford rent and food.
Yeah, Joel, we've done a lot of stories about especially here in California, how people are suffering here, but I still think the message doesn't quite get through to people. I mean, California is the 5th largest economy in the world. It would be if it were its own nation. And I think a lot of people think of hunger in America as being a regional problem, or it's happening in rural places. It's happening maybe in places back east or far away. But it's happening everywhere in this country, is it not?
It is, and it's particularly ironic to happen in California, which is the most agriculturally abundant patch of land, arguably, on the planet. And we're not quite reaching John Steinbeck-like levels where people are literally starving to death, because we did have a huge increase in federal funding. The federal SNAP program, that used to be called the food stamp program, increased by 22%. In the pandemic. It's going to spend $11 billion this year in California alone, so it really dwarfs the charities. But on my trip, I've already over 8,000 miles. I think this is something like my 16th or 17th state. I've seen hunger is a serious problem in every suburban, rural, and urban community in America. And it's clearly a problem throughout California, including in leafy suburbs, where people who are mowing lawns for the wealthiest, who are their nannies, who are staffing the supermarkets or restaurants, might be the very hungry people that they don't know about.
Joel, before we let you go, real quick, how can people get involved? What can they do if they want to help?
People can go to our website at hungerfreeamerica.org. That's hungerfreeamerica.org. Or if you need help, you can call the National Hunger Hotline at 1-866-3-HUNGRY. And you can also contact your elected officials, telling them we need the American Families Plan passed by Congress.
Joel, thank you so much for all of that information. It's an important conversation that we need to have more of, without a doubt. And safe travels to you as you travel around the country. Take care.
Thank you so much.
All right, 6:51 right now. The big takeaway for me here is that, I mean, I think a lot of people associate hunger with homelessness. And true enough, that is a problem. But it goes so far beyond the homeless issue.
And it's not just here. I love that he's going state to state to see the problem firsthand. It's one of those things, sadly, that unites us, right? It's an equalizer, hunger.
You gotta eat.
Gotta eat.